Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I have new videos every Tuesday. I also give an extra personal monthly video or Zoom call to my patrons as a thank you. If you're interested in finding out about supporting me over there, that link is here down in the description. Today's video is going to be a personal one, but hopefully that will give you ideas also. It's going to be about how you can use any planner or notebook for your goal planning. And I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of background on myself. I'm going to share with you how I'm using my golden coil this year for my goal planning, but also give you ideas on how you could use any planner, like any weekly planner, to institute your goal planning into, or any blank notebook, really. So some background on me and goal planning is, before I started this channel, I never once used a goal planner. I don't even think I knew there was such a thing. Some years I would make resolutions, usually just between 1 and 3. I remember, I don't think I ever went above 3, like 3 big overarching things I wanted to work on for that year. I would usually write them down somewhere, but I didn't ever even make a notebook to keep track of those goals. I never did habit tracking before I started this channel. I started this channel in March of 2017. So before that, I never did anything like that in my life. And guess what? I feel like I still did pretty darn good. So don't feel bad if you have never used a goal planner. Don't feel bad if you don't feel like you don't need one. And this video is just to give you some ideas if you want to institute a few things into your planner about goal planning or habit tracking, or into just a notebook. And if you don't feel bad. I feel like every season in our life is better for one thing versus another. I feel like our personalities, I feel like if you're a mom, as your kids grow and your life changes a whole lot with every different step in their lives, that we require different things. I feel like in my life, I did pretty darn good, like I said, without any system. But it's probably just my personality. I would just naturally, think of things I wanted to be working on just every day, try to be a little bit better. And what did I want to progress on during that time period, and try to work on it. When my kids were really little, babies and toddlers, and even younger and elementary, it was really just all about survival, to be honest, and keeping them happy, my family happy, and keeping our home up and all that. And I feel like those were my main goals. And I feel like I did a good job on them. So just don't feel bad. I feel like now in my life, I have more time to work on things personally, to read my scriptures, to be working out every day. These are things I did not do daily when I had little children. Now, I think that if I knew about all these different methods and ways, I could have worked in some more of that, but not a huge amount of time. I feel like I definitely could have said, well, I'm going to make it a tiny habit and just say, I'm going to open my scriptures every day. It doesn't matter whether I read 1 verse or 3 pages. It's just the fact that I opened them and I got something read. So I think when you have little kids, there's something to that. Lower the bar and just make it become a habit. And that way, on the days you have more time, you might read 3 pages. And on the days when you have no time, or your mind just cannot be there, or you haven't had any sleep, you can read 1 verse or 5 verses and feel really good that you still made that habit happen. And I know that I didn't work out every day at all. I had no workout plan when they were little. Basically running after them, taking them to the park, going on walks, going in the backyard, going up and down the stairs about 5 million times a day, carrying a kid with me. That was my workout. And that was okay for that time in my life. I was moving my body every day for sure. It was just not in a typical workout form. So I think just knowing what is best for you in your season and not being pressured by what you see by other people on Instagram or other places. Go with what will serve you in your season, what will help you to progress and to become the person that you want to be. So that's my spiel. I also feel like you do not have to have any formal goal planner, and forgive me if I have repeated things, because I filmed the first 15 minutes of this video already and did not realize that I did not have my Yeti mic on. I didn't have a lapel mic or anything, so I knew the sound would not be good going up to my phone filming here. So I've had to refilm the whole first 15 minutes of this. And honestly, I can't remember what I said from there to here. So I really apologize for that. While I have used and loved POWERSHEETS and MAKSELIFE in the past, since I have started this channel, and I really enjoyed them. I mean, the first time I bought POWERSHEETS on my own, I wasn't even given them by the company, and I bought them and I used them for several years. I also have used MAKSELIFE. I've done a review video of them both to compare them. I will link them down here in the description. Every year I review them. I have my new 2022 reviews out of them. I'm an affiliate for both companies, and I really think both systems bring a lot of value. They taught me a lot of things, which have helped me be able to implement my goals even better on my own. I do think those systems are valuable tools. If you are someone who likes all those boxes to check off, who the reflection questions really help, are amazingly valuable, and they also taught me a lot, like I said, from the time I used them. So even though they're not what I'm choosing to use right now in my life, I feel like they brought a lot of value to me learning about goal setting and goal planning. So let's jump into what I have used. For the past couple years, I have used these yearly habit trackers. They are from ELISEjoy.com. I will link that down in the description. They are free when you sign up for her newsletter. They come to you free. She sends them out at the end of each new year, but then if you're a new subscriber, they will come to you. They have either a Sunday start or a Monday start or a blank one, so you get all these different options to choose from when you sign up for her newsletter. I personally do the Monday start, and these have really helped me the past 2 years because I feel like when I am looking at the overall view, these are like little drops in the bucket. And when I can see over a whole year how I'm doing on something that's really important to me, then it can really help me to be able to manage. Do I need extra help there? What could I do to make that happen? Or, why is this habit just not happening? And it's also motivating to be able to have it there and color in every day and see how I'm doing. So a yearly habit tracker has helped me more than a weekly or a monthly for those big overarching habits that I want to make sure happen in my life. These were my 2021 ones, and I talk all about in my 2022 stack video, which I will link down in the description. I talk about what I'm going to use them for in 2022. Some of them are the same and some have changed. I've never done more than 4 a year. So this was the most I've ever done. This was move my body, and I have like color coding to see what I did that day just to move my body. This one was my scripture reading, and I just chose a different color every month so that I could see as the months go by there. This was my prayer journal, which I wanted to write my prayers every day. I gave myself a lot of grace there, and I started it even before 2020 ended. So I used her blank one and cut it out and pasted it on here. And I feel like I did really well on that hard goal. It also changed the way that I think about praying, writing down every prayer. And this was just prayer with my boys every day. So family prayer every day. There's going to be some different ones in 2022. Those are in my 2022 stack video. But those habit trackers, the yearly overview, you can print other people's free yearly habit trackers. I know they're out there. They're on Etsy, or you can just Google it. They have been immensely helpful to me in just being able to look at my goals and see how am I doing on them. And also to give myself grace, because just because I miss a couple days, if you're in a week and you're on a weekly tracker and you miss 3 days, all you see is I missed 3 days. But when I do that, I can look at the whole overarching look of my tracker and see how well I'm doing and say, well, it's okay. And I know why I missed those 3 days, and I know how to get back on track. So I think that's the reason why I love the yearly trackers. The weekly trackers just don't tell me anything personally. I think it's motivating to look at it as a week, and you might want to do the weekly tracker, but transferring it onto a yearly tracker really helps me be able to monitor something. And if we're not like tracking it, then we can't monitor anything. Like we don't know how it's going over a year. If I'm just using the weekly tracker every week, I really can't tell how well I did on my scripture reading or moving my body or praying with my boys. I really can't tell. So seeing the whole year is immensely helpful to me. And when I wasn't using POWERSHEETS anymore or MAKSELIFE, and I was in Planner Perfect, I started writing my goals in here every month up front. There's 4 goal pages in a Planner Perfect TN every month. And while I was using these mainly for my journaling and memory keeping, sometimes for my daily list, but more recently just for journaling and memory keeping. It worked really well for me to write my goals up here. I just grabbed an old one out of the bin in my closet, and it happened to be this October one where I had Thanksgiving ideas. That goes along with my goals, home, personal, videos for that month, video work I needed to get done, and channel goals. And so the 4 pages was ample for me to plan out my goals. And I actually liked thinking about it on a monthly basis. I know a lot of goal planners go with a quarterly basis, a quarterly check-in and reevaluate your goals. Although your tending list in PowerSheets is every month. So you can definitely come up with new things and change things up every month on there. And MAKSELife, your check-ins are like weekly, although you're not changing your big overarching goals. But I used this with just a 2020 or 2021 list. So Gretchen Rubin has this, your 20 for 20 list or 21 for 21. It's 22 for 22 this year. And I use that as like my overarching list of things I wanted to get done or work on, and would just kind of consult that, but mainly just really think about each month as a fresh new start and what did I really want to focus on that month. And I kind of divide my goals out into 2. It's kind of like, what are my like get it done goals and what are my like heart goals? My heart goals stay pretty much the same. They are like ways that I want to connect with my husband, my kids, my scripture reading, connect with my Savior. So those things are consistent and I want to work on every month. And sometimes I have to think of new ideas or what do I want to do this month to help make that happen. But those are the same. Then my other goals are like my get it done things around the house or in my life or my family or things for my kids that just have to get done. So that's kind of how mine are divided up. Once I used those goal setting systems and decided that I just wanted to kind of go back to what felt more natural for me and is designing a system for myself where I kind of just check in every month, the Planner Perfect worked really well for me on that. But this year, I'm going to be in Golden Coil for my weekly list book. And I was like, I'm going to try having it all in this one planner for the year. You know, instead of every month, I couldn't really go back and look at my past month goals and stuff because they were in each different Planner Perfect book every month. And so I'd have to go out and dig it out of my box. And I thought I'd rather keep it all in my planner for the year. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing it in my Golden Coil. I went over a little bit of this in my 2022 stack video. And then I'm going to give you ideas how to use any weekly planner to put your goals in it or any notebook. Let's jump in here. I have often thought about also getting just a Leuchtturm notebook. You guys know I love those and use them for many different things. And actually making that a goals notebook to carry over from year to year to year. So I would be doing basically what I'm doing in here, but all my check-ins would be in there and mapped out in there. And so it would just flow until you run out of room and you could look back on all your previous years. So that might be an option. You guys might see me start using that. Who knows, even mid-year this year, I might decide to switch to it or next year. We'll see how this goes in the Golden Coil. I do like having it in the planner that I'm working in, because it does remind me to go check in there. I also like the idea of having it all, you know, in just one book carried over from year to year. I wrote my word of the year up here, gratitude, and just a whole bunch of different things about gratitude. I shared a little bit more about why I chose gratitude and the special gratitude journal that I'm using this year off Amazon in my 2022 stack video. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be linked down below. This kind of goes with my goals. I was going to do a whole house clean out again this year. I did it, I think 3 years ago, and it's time for it again. Of course, you could do it every year, but I just don't make myself. I did have divided out where everything was going to be. The only months I don't put something on is November or December, and I do the whole house clean out for the year. But we are probably going to get our floors done earlier in the year. So I'm kind of moving stuff in because I'm going to have to pack everything in our house for that. So we're going to get cleaned out sooner than later. This, I talk about my 2022 stack video since I like to use my yearly trackers because these all sit folded up with my morning scripture reading and I mark everything either from the day before or that morning of, depending on when those things get done. It's all together and it's with my pencils. So I knew I wouldn't come back here and mark things. I might end up transferring something here if I wanted to see it in this big scope, but it's not going to be where I mark something every day. This, we'll see if I keep track of it since I do all these trackers. But I was wanting to pick one thing to focus on that month, even if it's something I'm already tracking on here. So yoga is moving my body, but I'm doing the 30 days of yoga with Adrienne January Journey move. I picked yoga for January And this was originally a mood tracker in the Golden Coil, and I got this idea from them. I just whited that out, and I'm going to make it a different thing to work on every month. Like one month, it might be even as simple as like making sure I brush my teeth every night. Who knows? Just something I want to work on that month. So we'll see if I keep this up because I keep my yearly trackers really well, but this is basically a different focus every month, something that you want to really work on or institute that month. And this is kind of just a summary of the month. Here is where my goals come into play. So I used these stickers from Erin Condren. They are, let me grab it, from her monthly collection sticker book. It's called, this year's is edition 7. She comes out with them every fall for the next year. So this is this year's 2022. So these are from a past year's book. So the print is not the same. The font this year is like that, but there's a page per day, per month, and goes with Erin Condren colors. And I just like it with holidays and a theme for the month. And you get the month in a sticker also. And so this was from a past book. So I'm sorry, it's not available anymore. I don't even remember what edition it was from, but this is your current one. And that is the font that is on your month stickers. And I decided this would be a good place to write my main big goals for the month, kind of like I did, although there's not as much room. So we'll see how I do with it. But like I did, mapping them out in here on your goal pages and having those as my focus for the month. And then it's really easy to look back on past months and what got done and what I want to move to where. So I put these project pages in here, not knowing exactly what I would use them for, but I knew I might want the months of the year on them. So I put in enough of them to do the months of the year. I have a couple extra here if I need to map anything out. That is where I'm going to be writing kind of my focus and my goals for every month. In the back of my Golden Coil is where I just put some blank pages. I could have put these pages up front next year. I probably will if I'm going to do this again, but it's okay that they're in the back and that those pages are in the front. I use Passion Planner tabs on my Golden Coil, and I do not have any Golden Coil discounts right now. I get them when I do usually my big fall video, when I get my new planners from them to use for the next year. I get a 10% then. And so I don't have any now. They only have 2 sales a year, Mother's Day and Black Friday. And those are 15%. So look for those if you're interested. Passion Planner, I do have a discount. It's down here in the description. If it is your first purchase, you can get I think it's $5 off if it's your first purchase from Passion Planner. So that is down in my description. And I do love their tabs on my Golden Coil because Golden Coil does not come with tabs because it is a customizable planner where each page is printed what you choose and put in the order that you want. I will link my whole Golden Coil playlist down here in the description. It really is an amazing planner. I love them. They have the same 80-pound Mohawk paper with the same tooth that Erin Condren has. They're just a little creamier and not bright white. But if you want to find more out about Golden Coil, I have a lot of videos and a lot of different layouts in my Golden Coil playlist, and that will be linked in the description. For 2022, first, I just made a mind map of the big main things that I thought I might want to get done or might happen this year. And they range from vacations to just me thriving, looking at getting our floors done, to reading and studying the whole Old Testament. So they range just everywhere, from getting house things done to like my heart goals. They're all on here. And then I kind of mapped them out a little bit more in a list form here. So, and I write possibilities because I don't know why. Goals, I just felt like these are all possibilities. I may or may not get them done as we've learned in life, especially with the pandemic. But even before the pandemic, the older I get and the older my kids get, the more I learned that life throws a lot of different things at us. I don't feel bad when I don't get something done when I am really working my hardest in life because I am doing my best. And so these things may or may not get done. They are possibilities. And it's not because I'm going to be laying around doing nothing in my life. It's just because my life is in constant flux of what's more important, what has to get done, who's more important. People are more important than getting these things done. And so it's just a constant ebb and flow for me. These are just possibilities. Possibilities on my house, on trips, on my house clean out, on my heart goals, sourdough online classes I want to take, doing some stuff in my son's bedroom, like updating paint and stuff. These will get changed and moved around. So I have several blank pages back here. Every month if I need to come back here and like reevaluate, but I don't see myself reevaluating the big list every month. But there's pages to definitely reevaluate every quarter, to make notes, to just decide where I want to go. And then every month, my month list will be up here and I can kind of look at the big main things. And I love that it's all together and I can mark off what's done, leave unmarked what's not done, and decide if that needs to go somewhere else or if it just goes off the list completely. So that is my thought. It's a really simple system. It's just as simple as what I've been doing in my Planner Perfect, kind of thinking and evaluating every single month off my big list. Haven't even made a 20 for 22 list though, even though I did that for 2020 and 2021. I'm not sure if I will take these and make them into like a 22 list. I'm really happy with like how this is right now. So unless I feel like I want to do that at some point, which I may or may not, I will. And then this is my weekly list notebook. So I am in it every week. So far, we are just on week 2, but so far it's serving me really well. I love to be able to mark out the whole big day, see where I am, what big things are on that day, and what is still left on my weekly list. Lots of room for just notes, thinking ahead there. And so we'll see how I do with this and how my goals do in this planner. I think that any notebook can make an amazing goal planner or any planner you already have. You just have to work out a system that works for you. And really all you need is pen and paper. You hold all the power in you. I did a whole IGTV on this, but really it is true, you guys. You are all powerful. You are amazing. And you hold all the power to make any changes in your life that you want to. You don't have to have the money to buy an expensive goal planner in order to make progress on the things that matter to you. All you have to do is decide on a plan, write it down, map out what's important to you, make lots of notes, brainstorm, mind map, and then decide when you're going to check in with yourself. Are you going to check in every week? Are you going to check in every month? Now, I realize that different systems work better with different personalities. I am a pretty disciplined personality. I am also not a perfectionist. I am also someone who sticks with a plan well. So if I tell myself I'm going to check in on these trackers every day, I'm going to check in on these trackers every day because I've decided ahead of time that it is important enough for me to do that. I don't generally write down things or make goals that are not really important to me or won't make a difference in my life. If I do make a goal or write down something like that, and when I realize it's not really that important to me, then I'm quick to mark it off and to not feel bad at all about it and decide that's just not a priority right now and it doesn't make a big difference in my life. I think it really is all in just deciding what works for you in your season, if you're a mom with your kids' ages, with your lifestyle, and with your personality and how your brain works. I think you can take any blank notebook, but you can also take any planner. All you have to do is realize that, yes, all the things you want to accomplish are going to take work and it's all going to be up to you. And so you have to design a system that will help you get there, whether that's with monthly habit trackers, whether that's with weekly goals, whether you need an accountability partner and a friend. You decide what you need and then you take those steps to make it happen. If you're in a season of your life where you are not feeling inclined, you don't feel like you can handle anything extra, don't feel bad that you're not making goals. Your goals might just be surviving every day with your little ones, with getting food on the table, with keeping the house in like a decent state. Those are goals. Those are important and those are serving your family well. So do not feel bad just because I have an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old and I am in a different stage of life. Please do not feel bad like you need to be making lots of goals or keeping track with habit trackers. Many people, these habit trackers would not be good for them. They're not people who like to check in. They would make you feel bad. They wouldn't work for you in the same way they work for me. And so definitely don't do something that is not going to work for you or that is going to make you feel bad and work against you. So in an Erin Condren planner, here is just my general ideas. And every planner has different extra pages and dashboard pages. Erin Condren has these 2 pages before every month. This would be where I would map out my monthly goals. And honestly, who knows? It might work better in this planner because there is more room than I had in my golden coil. This is where I would decide like what would go in each section. Like I would probably list like my top 4 priorities here. And maybe if those get done, what are like my next 4 priorities here? to get done. Then I might decide if you wanted to do habit tracking right here, you could do a monthly habit tracker for sure, all the way across in the dot grid. This just might be extra notes or reflection, how you did that month. This could either be listing like all your appointments for the month, just so if you want it on your dashboard, or this could be listing your wins as your month goes on. It's always really motivating for me to see what are my wins, what did I do that I feel like is great and was hard for me, and to write those down. So these boxes, I like that they're not labeled. They can be used in any different way that works for you. This could be like for a mind map, like every month to kind of think what you want to go on, or just kind of a list every month. Like for me, it would probably be a mix, like whatever I felt like that month. Like if Thanksgiving was that month, kind of how I used it, the extra pages to map out in my Planner Perfect, I would kind of list like plans for that month. If there's something big going on that month that I need to plan for in my family, or what extra thing am I cleaning out that month, and maybe I need to figure out some extra parts to that, or when that's going to happen. So there's just room for extra notes there. You have a 2-page spread. And then to bring it onto your week, you can easily list like what you want to get done from that list that week here, or even plug it into the day so that you see exactly when it's get done. You can mark those goals with like a star on the day. So you know if it has a star, it connects with your goals, or a heart if it connects with like your heart goals, the one that I talked about, or a star or a heart over here on the list too. So you know if you see a star, it connects with your goals, or a heart with the heart goals, so that it grabs your attention. So that's just an idea of how to use the Erin Condren. They do have an extra lined page at the end of your month here. I personally don't need to use that, but if you wanted it just for journaling, for reflection, to take reflection questions from, I know like Emily P. Freeman gives some really good reflection questions on her podcast that she does every month. And like, so you can take someone else's reflection questions if you want some guidance and reflect every month on how you did, or just do your own reflection. And then you have to reevaluate every single month. If you want to do kind of your bulk listing of goals by month, mapping out when things might happen, you could use the 12 boxes up front in your Erin Condren. Lots of planners have these 12 boxes. So those could be mapped out for what, like you could make a monthly focus. That's another way to do goals, a monthly focus every month, or just mapping out when different things, when you're planning to get different things done every year, kind of like my 12-month spread in the Golden Coil was. If you need extra pages, like for your mind mapping and your listing and such, there's not as many because you can't like add more in here, but there is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you count the ones at the end of the month, like that's a good amount of pages in your Erin Condren. So you could definitely do your mind map and your listing back here, kind of like I did my goal planning. So it's all in one place. Those are just some ideas of how you can use any planner that you are in. Here are just our 2 different layouts. The first step is just, I think, mind mapping or listing out what is important to you, what you want to work on for the year. And it doesn't matter if you're doing this in January or if you're doing this in March. You can look ahead for a full 12 months wherever you are, or you can just map out for the rest of the year wherever you are. So if you do this in March or you do this in June, once again, I'm going to be reevaluating like every single month. I think it's fine wherever you start. Just look ahead, however many months that are left in the year, map it out. What's a priority for you? Think about how you're going to check in with that list. How are you going to be accountable with your habits? What's going to keep you accountable? For me, a habit tracker is enough to keep me accountable, but you might need something else. I hope these ideas have helped you guys a little bit. And I know I get a lot of questions on what am I doing for my goal setting now that I am not in PowerSheets or MAKSELife. This is what I've been doing. I really have just been in my Planner Perfect for the past like 2 years, because this is a 2020 and I see my goals up here. I think I started with Planner Perfect in June of 2019. I think around then is when I started using these goal pages. This is just what works for me right now. I'd love to hear all your thoughts and ideas on this down below. I'd love to hear what you're using, what you've used in the past. One of my patron Zoom calls was all about goal planners, goal planning, what we've used, what are our feelings on goal planning and thoughts on it. That was a really interesting Zoom call. If you do decide to sign up as a patron at my $8 level, you get access to all my past Zoom calls. They're all recordings and all up there to be able to be viewed, and all my past monthly videos there too. So you get access to all the past ones if you become a new patron. I honestly think whatever system will help you to progress and to grow and become a little better each day and to lift you up and to not make you feel bad about yourself. Your goal system should never be making you feel bad about yourself or down on yourself. Any system that can do that for you is the right system for you. I fully accept and know that my system is going to keep changing as it has, as my life changes. And just to know that and to be able to ebb and flow with your life and be fluid with that, I think is really important. Thanks for being here, guys. I value your time and I really appreciate the time that you spend with me and the time that you take to chat down in the comments, because I really do love hearing all your thoughts and what you're using. And I think that goal planning, a lot of people get a lot of different feelings when they hear the word goal planning. Let's chat. Take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.